Hello everybody, WaffleTime here. Terraria has 115 achievements, some of which aren't too bad to get at all, and some others which made me feel like smashing my face into my keyboard and desk until I could double as an ironing board. This is precisely what we're going to be doing today. It's time to 100% Terraria all on Master Mode. Let's jump right in, shall we? It all starts with extraordinarily humble beginnings. World creation. Our first achievement we could add to our fanny packs that we're desperately failing to bring back into popularity is a rare realm, because we're going to be using the Drunk World seed to get the party started. Right after this, of course, is timber, which comes from much warranted deforestation to make way for 8 paid parking lots and 2 Walmarts. We start whipping up some NPC housing that will charge, I don't know, maybe $87.50 a month for, with no washer, dryer, air conditioning, heating, fans, or appliances because it's prime location and has a walkable neighborhood. We get the benched achievement for making our first workbench and get stop hammer time directly after that by making our first hammer, one which will hopefully be used to beat the angler to death until he's a small stain on the floor later on in this playthrough. We quickly finish up our NPC apartment complex and lo and behold get the no hobo achievement for moving in our first NPC. The unfortunately stinking party girl. No hobo, not for long. I'll wait for the party girl to lightly scrape one door, then evict her and take my sweet $9,000 security deposit right back to the goddamn bank. After making some wood armor, we slap it on and get matching attire from having some matching drip to drown in. To get the real cream of the playthrough started, we begin treading down our first cave, throwing our copper sword to a slime along the way to work on the slime pit achievement, and manage to find some lead, giving us the ooh shiny achievement. We go down further and blow our heads smooth off, getting the watch your step achievement from that. We collect more ores and are promptly sucked to death by various cave slimes. Certainly not the worst way to go out, but you best believe I'm foaming at the goddamn mouth behind the safety of this monologue. Seeing as it's now nighttime and I can't see dick from balls, we set up a beautiful waffle wood workshop to get things started. By making our first anvil, we get the heavy metal achievement, and by searching living trees to the right of our base, we get the invisible fuck all achievement. We wall off our beautiful homestead, make more god-awful NPC housing for more tormented souls to move in, and hit the living trees once more. We get ourselves a spear, and are immediately chased by a gnome, to which we respond, I feel, extremely reasonably to, by locking ourselves in a cage of 2x4s until he turns to stone. As soon as that sun rises, he's going in the jar. Daylight hits and we snag ourselves 2 more achievements. You can do it for quote-unquote surviving our first night, and heliophobia for dooming a rabid gnome to eternity in the spunk trunk. Would you believe me if I said we were already at 27% of achievements completed? Well, you shouldn't, because I lied for fun. Anyways, upon further looting, we get a finch staff as well as our first gold chest, which not only contained a band of regeneration, but also gave us I am loot, just for busting it wide open. We head home, pet a slime for the feeling petty achievement, and briefly put our armor in our vanity slot to get fashion statement. To get star power, we hit an odd niche of the 34th rule and vor a mana crystal, then set out to the left side of our world, happy as ever that it's day. We have time and room to explore. The world is at our finger. I was gobbled silly until I passed out. We rope up to the top of our world and hit space to get into orbit, then give up on life only to be given a second chance, and give up on it again out of spite. After finding the correct distance to barely survive a fall, we get Lucky Break, which is actually short for luckily I broke both of my fucking tibias, but we have no time to worry about that right now. We have sick gamer progression to make, and achievements to have a public meltdown over in front of our friends so none of them ever quite look at us the same ever again. It's time to make a elevator, so we begin booming our way down with bombs, collecting all the ores we see along the way. We head back to put away some of our items, and just as if RNGesus gave me a personal slap and tickle, an unsuspecting gold bunny shows up. How cute. We of course capture and dissect it, turning it into a delicious meal for us at once in order to get Feast of Midas. We head back down to collect more ores and suddenly start developing a cough. Oh no, I really hope I'm not coming down with a case of urethra darts. We walk slightly limping back to our mine and find our first life crystal. Chowing down on that bad boy immediately, getting Heartbreaker from it, and soon after grab ourselves a magic mirror and a couple more life crystals. After some more exploring and pulling the same loot repeatedly, we pull every last strand of hair out of our body and head up to make our first hook, giving us hold on tight. You know what, we're getting wound up over nothing. It's time to take part in something calming for us, something soothing to the soul and harmless for those around us. We trap a slime, crush 28 beers within an hour, and hit the freeway to decompress. Suddenly a sober driving slime, which causes 70% of traffic accidents, mind you, jumps in the way like an absolute fool, in turn giving us the vehicular manslaughter achievement. But I like to call it vehicular manslaughter, because at least one of us had a pleasant drive. Soon after, we craft a yo-yo for throwing lines, and to celebrate, make a platinum helmet, a tungsten chestplate, and lead pantaloons to get lead poisoning in our nards. guards, and ensure there aren't any WaffleTime or Plantera Juniors ruining my life anytime soon. To get a hear ye ass musket, we pile drive our way down the corruption and explode a shadow orb, not only giving us said hear ye ass musket, but also giving us smashing poppet as well. We flee our way to the right after this, making a house with a casting couch for the arms dealer and nurse, and find the one NPC we're gonna hate this playthrough more than anything we've ever hated in our entire lives. The goddamn angler. 200 fishing quests we owe this sorry sack of shit, and I'm gonna get more and more resentful with every measly fish we turn in. We begin work on getting our first fish, getting servant in training along the way, and already decide we've had enough fishing quests for one lifetime, promptly hurling our body into a spider's nest shortly after and getting jeepers creepers just to feel something again for the first time in 20 years. She's spider on my creepers till I jeepers. That's right, I said it. During even further exploring, we find a chest with feral claws as well as a suspicious looking eye, giving us like a boss. Which reminds me that I unironically said that phrase out loud to people when I was younger, making me want to molt out of my own skin. The game must have heard me mourning because soon after, we find water walking boots, which are going to be indispensable in regard to crafting Terra boots. Another achievement we have to get or we'll explode. Upon returning to the surface, we slam a teleportation potion and wouldn't you know it, teleport directly into the anal crevices of a hive, giving us where's my honey, which is precisely what I say to Plantera each and every time I lay my eyes upon her succulence. After some more exploring, we finally grab ourselves some Hermes boots, and to celebrate, purchase a cat from the zoologist. We slam another teleportation potion, and seeing as we're close to hell, dig down and get it's getting hot in here, and upon teleporting up, start hammering out some fishing quests. Seeing as we're already next to the arms dealer, we keep selling loot from crates and buy ourselves a mini shark, which is so sick for two reasons. Number one, we get the completely awesome achievement, and number two, we have a fucking mini shark. How sexual is that? We decide to take some time to think about having to do 200 fishing quests and kill ourselves repeatedly as a result. In the process, making a graveyard biome and getting quiet neighborhood. Thinking even further about the fishing quests, I drowned myself because I thought about going to the underground tundra 36,000 times to get one measly shit-ass fish. We slam some water to speed up the process and get unusual survival strategies. After doing even more godforsaken fishing quests, we turn in a tropical barracuda and get a fuzzy carrot, as well as an evil presence straight up watching. Instead of jacking off gorilla style so the eye has to watch for an extended period of time, we equip our mount, giving us the cavalry. It's at this point that a pinky begins attempting to stomp on our nuts until they're a fine powder, acting like the all-seeing eye isn't coming, so we deal with her swiftly, getting pretty in pink. Soon enough, the Eye of Cthulhu spawns, and considering our gear is so painfully, horrendously mid, we attempt to challenge him vertically with the assistance of our space rope, and the absolute bastard despawns. I don't blame him personally speaking, I wouldn't want to battle a sweaty gamer on the space rope of demise either. Since the shithead fled the scene, we move the arms dealer and the nurse to the desert, and since they love nothing more than recording with each other all day for short clips on the hub, we get leading landlord. While we're here, we set up a saw death trap torture room for ourselves, where we can partake in autoerotic asphyxiation and heal up any chafing we get in a moment's notice with the help of the nurse. After an innumerable amount of dry, sandy strokes we heal from, we get the frequent flyer achievement. Beautiful, but ouch. It's here I decide we should probably boost our HP a bit, so we go life crystal hunting, slowly chipping away at maxing out our health. While we're close to hell, we slam an obsidian potion and touch the very bottom to get, wouldn't you know it, rock bottom. To spice things up a bit because I'm goddamn sick of hunting down life crystals, I decide it's time to do Torch God. We set up a mediocre arena in our mushroom biome and spam some torches. And spam some torches. And spam. This motherfucker is not spawning. It's becoming incredibly clear and frighteningly apparent that he's simply terrified of our sexual gamer prowess. We get decimated because I placed 1 million torches out of spite, and on our second attempt we keep our distance, actually using our whole arena space to dodge, duck, dip, dive, dodge, and voila, chef's kiss, it gets domed. We eat the Torch God's favor, giving us the Torch God achievement, and with our newfound confidence it's time for our first boss. We make a god-awful arena, hit the corruption, make a slime crown, and summon the big bastard up with nothing more than fleshy moonlord legs that squish when we walk. Arrogance from defeating the Torch God, which will make us losing hurt so bad inside that we shave our eyebrows off. And a goddamn dream. We attempt to keep as much distance as possible, sweeping left to right while we keep up constant fire. He gets faster and faster as his health goes down, but we simply repeat the process. And soon enough, the fat bastard pops, giving us the slippery shinobi achievement. While putting up our statue, it's here where we decide, you know what? We ball to such an incredible extent, we deserve a goddamn treat. The treat in question being another boss to deliver insatiable backshots to. We grab our Eye of Cthulhu summon and spawn it up. Immediately immediately getting to work. This is just about the same process as King Slime, partaking in the WaffleTime patented back and forth full throttle booty blaster method. We do this until it reaches its second phase, but full Nelsoning this gargantuan eyeball stops for nothing. We keep blasting with all our might. Its health chips away steadily and it geeks even harder. As its final phase approaches, we grapple and thug it out, taking an occasional slurping but not paying the price all too dearly. And soon enough we're basking in the warm shower of its eyeball meat, and it feels incredible. What's also incredible that we got is the Eye on You achievement. Soon after this, the goblins decide to invade, so we do what we do best and lob grenades at the idiots until they're nothing more than a green stain on the floor with brown stains on their pants. We keep stuffing them with grenades like a goblin-themed piñata until they finally wise up and take their leave. We of course get Goblin Punter for turning all of their goblin wives into widows, and to celebrate this we do some fishing quests. We find a trapped chest in our adventures and are sent to hell immediately, getting a brief look at the Dead Men Tell No Tales achievement we got from that stunt. Since it's a blood moon when we respawn, we absolutely wholeheartedly goddamn boom everything in our path until the groom shows up. We slaughter him of course and get till death, and shortly after when the blood moon ends we get Bloodbath as well, simply for surviving. After turning in a bumblebee tuna, we get ourselves a honey absorbent sponge. Not really sure why I felt like mentioning that, I just thought it was sick as hell. Anyways, we begin construction on what I like to call the Tower of Donors, which of course immortalizes those who donated above $10 on our beautiful journey while we streamed. Shameless plug, if you want to catch playthroughs like these, follow the Twitch in the description. I hear from a very reliable source it'll give you an extra 9 inches. So men, nice meat. And ladies, congratulations on the new penis. Take care of it. While going down to get cobwebs for Chinese lanterns to put on the Tower of Donors, we come across a nymph and Swiss cheeser until we get Deceiver of Fools. Check out the tower now all lit up, how beautiful! We take the time to upgrade our home while we're at it, collecting Crimtane blocks to really emphasize that not only is the Waffle Meat Fort back, but it's better than ever, and yes, the blocks still squish anytime we walk on them. Disgusting, I love it. While we're adding walls to the Waffle Meat Mansion, a party starts and we get Jolly Jamboree, which considering we didn't get an invite to said party, I'll be sure to summon the Destroyer directly above their houses. They'll pay dearly for their mistake, but that's a future us problem. For now, we do more fishing quests and get the Good Little Slave achievement, and after seeing that, are immediately sick of fishing once more. We make a greenhouse next for all of our illegal growing and manufacturing operations, and I think it came out quite nicely. To spice things up, we make a Blood Butcherer and head to the Crimson, making a quick arena and smashing orbs until the Brain of Cthulhu spawns. Wood. Next question. Anyways, Spiky Balls absolutely destroy this idiot's first phase, making very short work of the various eyeballs that surround him. We quickly enter the second phase, which yet again Spiky Balls completely decimate. As it turns out, balls of all shapes and sizes appear to be the answer to this bad boy, and when the balls don't work you simply shoot at it, and that's precisely what we do. We chip away at his health steadily, until he bursts into an easily digestible dish of deep fried brain matter. We get Mastermind from that, and go right back to more fishing quests. We do some more exploring, finding more life crystals, as well as finding our favorite corner of the hotel chair utilizer. We grab ourselves a Tinkerer's Workshop as well as rocket boots, and promptly make some swagged out Spectre boots, randomly getting Marathon Medalist from traveling 26.2 miles on foot. Up next we head on down to get that delectable Hellstone Sauce-a-Rooney, and find Tim just straight up chillin'. We of course beat him to death with his own severed arms, giving us the There Are Some Who Call Him achievement. We mine as much Hellstone as we can stuff into our Dorito crumb-filled pockets on our first Epic Gamer Hellstone mowing session of the playthrough. We collect obsidian as well as a Hellforge for our troubles. Upon returning to the surface, we make ourselves a volcano, full molten armor, as well as a molten pickaxe, which gives us the Miner for Fire achievement, as well as a ridiculous boost to our power. With said power, we head to the Corruption to take on the Eater of Worlds, or as I like to call it, the eater of this big fat horse meat ding-dong, because this buffoon stands no chance against us currently. Down in the Corruption, we find our final life crystal, which is incredibly hot, then start blowing up shadow orbs, almost forgetting entirely to make an arena, making a quick one, then summoning the big bastard up. What's to say about the volcano versus the worm, which isn't visibly apparent? We are fucking destroying him. He doesn't do too much damage to us on account of our armor, and we simply swing our little hearts away, completely atomizing his cancerous worm segments with every fell swoop. Upon finally slicing through its last bit, we get worm fodder, and after digging down and finding the shimmer, we get a shimmer in the dark. Soon after finding the shimmer, the slime rain begins. enemies, which means King Slime found out exactly what I was doing with Queen Slime behind closed doors. We WWE Super Slam all of his minions until the bastard himself shows up, and we WWE Super Slam his ass too, getting the Sticky Situation achievement, which is very ironic because I've been putting Queen Slime in sticky situations for the past year. Up next on our shit to stab to death list is Queen Bee, so we rush to the jungle and build an arena in a giant hive, summoning her up shortly after. Dominantly we use the mini shark, but man oh man do we get the juiciest licks in when she decides to send her 1 pixel wide demons to attack us. The volcano does incredible work and it excites me to no end. We repeat this process, dodging her wacko mode ass dashes along the way, and after spanking her silly a few more times over, she kicks the bee-sized bucket. We get sting operation from defeating her as well as a beekeeper for our troubles, but we need a goddamn bee gun for an achievement, so we take the time to grind her out several times over, until at long last the bee gun falls into our feeble hands. We head on home and immediately make full bee armor, slap it on and fire the bee gun for the Not the Bees achievement. We also make a high five just for funsies, but soon after this we probably, for the first time in my Terraria history, actually make purchases from the die trader, adding each of them to all of our die slots to get die hard. We're not doing too bad so far on achievements, but there's certainly much work to do, and the worst truly is yet to come. We head down a living tree and lo and behold there's a sword shrine connected to it, giving us an enchanted sword along the way. This will make the creation of the Zenith down the road that much easier. Anyways, we want to kill the ultimate boner of the dungeon, Skeletron, next, so we swing left and find the dead tree, which tells us the dungeon is just below it. We build a quick arena, hollow out the tree a little bit for expedited access to running as fast as fucking possible as soon as we summon him. Then we simply wait for night. As soon as the sun sets, we summon the idiot up and promptly get our asses beat to a goddamn pulp until he begins to charge, which is exactly when we take our much warranted leave. Thankfully we make it topside with only 1 testicle being left down in the dungeon, and proceed to light him up with a high five. Hot diggity dog does it work incredibly. We do excellent damage, and after some time we take out one hand, then the other, and all we're left with is the world's teethiest head, which we will absolutely, wholeheartedly, without a crumb of doubt in my mind, be avoiding at any given cost. We simply take his big ass through the loopty supreme, circling around his putrid 5-head to avoid the vast majority of his attacks. We chip away his health steadily, all in all, not too scary of a fight, and at long last finally kill him, getting the boned achievement from our victory. Unfortunately for us, we didn't manage to get our hands on a Chippy's couch, which I personally would have done unspeakable things on. Our primary target now is Deerclops, so we grind some flinks, make a deer thing, and summon her goofy ass up in the snow. She can't really despawn even if we die, but honestly, no worries. How in God's name could we die when we're as stacked as we are? First try, nailed that shit to the wall. We get an eye for an eye on account of our victory, then go off to explore some more. While hunting for loot in the underground desert, we get Bulldozer for destroying a total of 10,000 tiles. And after some more fishing, shimmer an extra fisherman pocket guide for a sextant, making the fish finder shortly after. After even more fishing from hell, I decide it's time for us to explore the Fungeon, where dreams go to suffer, skulls can go through walls, and there's spikes up your chocolate love tunnel at any given point. On our first chest, we managed to pull a Miramasa as well as a Shadow Key, getting Dungeon Heist for cracking open the chest to begin with. We open up plenty of chests, some containing yo-yos, some containing disposed evidence from a murder case that went cold in the 80s, and at long last grab ourselves a Cobalt Shield, which is incredibly hot. Now that we got a tally counter from the dungeon, however, we make ourselves the REK 3000 followed by a PDA, and at long last a cell phone, giving us the Black Mirror achievement. After exploring some more, we managed to grab an anklet from the jungle, and immediately make ourselves some lightning boots. Ah yes, boots. Let's work on that next. We grind in hell for an obsidian rose, a magma stone, and a guide voodoo doll, shimmering our magma stone into a lava charm once we head topside. Then make ourselves some lava waders, practically tasting the Terra Spark lightning bolts just around the corner, zapping us in the nuts repeatedly. All that's left is some ice skates, so we fish in the snow biome for what feels like 74 years of my life that I'll never ever get back, all until we finally crack open a crate that has our delectable ice skate sauce. We head on home, make Frostspark boots, and then finally make Terraspark boots, giving us boots of the hero. Speaking of edging something to tears, the Night's Edge has been begging and pleading to be made. So we grab our Blood Butcherer, Miramasa, make ourselves a Blade of Grass, And since we already have the volcano, we head on down to an altar and craft that bad boy up immediately. Incredibly sensual, staggeringly sexy. We hammer out some more fishing quests, getting the Trout Monkey achievement for completing 25 quests in total, meaning there's only 175 more to go. At this point, I've never felt more inclined to hurt others. A frightening consequence that 25 fishing quests often brings to a man's psyche. After some fishing for potions, as well as some reforging that made me want to make a lampshade out of the Goblin, it was finally time for the Wall of Flesh. We destroy our platform so as to not worry about extra spawns, throw that voodoo doll in, and get to goddamn work on this absolute buffoon. He sprints at us with heat, hungry at the ready, lasers a-firing. Little does that goddamn idiot know he hasn't even an inkling of a chance against a forbidden hop and jack method. That's right, we simply jump up and down ever so slightly and let the Knight's Edge beat the piss out of anything in its way. Our stacked armor and accessories, as well as our darling new weapon, make the fight an absolute cakewalk. As he picks up speed, our ass cheeks admittedly clench ever so slightly. But with the Compensator 9000 setup working so well for us, we conquer and dom this battle entirely, getting the Still Hungry as well as the It's Hard achievement for defeating the Wall of Flesh and releasing spirits of light and darkness across our world. After a battle which went that fantastic, truly the achievement isn't the only thing that's hard right now. We get a breaker blade from the bag, as well as Hollow directly above us, allowing us to grab a gelatin crystal for doming Queen Slime in the near future, and some regular crystals to duplicate for major fat stacks. We quickly shimmer our emblem to be a warrior emblem, then crystal dupe so much that the great people of Indiana and Bakersfield may just vote for us to be the next president. We of course get fat stacks for selling it all just before prone boning every altar in the corruption we could find, getting begone evil in the process. Seeing as some delectable palladium spawned within arm's reach, we mow the nips off of it, getting extra shiny. Our next goal is to get the truffle to move in, which in turn would mark 2 achievements off the list. One for getting the truffle here and the other for making an above ground mushroom biome. With this being said, we rope up to the nearest sky island, grinding wyvern pelt into gas station erection pills that'll certainly cause heart and kidney failure in 5 years, then promptly hollowing out the island. We line that bad boy with mud, plant mushroom grass seeds to spread, and build some housing for the greatest NPC of all time, the goddamn truffle. While the cordyceps spread, we simply chop away at Hardmode ores, going from palladium to orichalcum, then stopping for all but a brief moment to make some wings with the giant harpy feather we got earlier, and after equipping them we get head in the clouds. While we're topside, we check on the status of the mushroom island, and get Funky Town, meaning the mushrooms have officially spread to the island's lymph nodes. While chopping up our final tier of ore for some immaculate titanium drip, the truffle moves in, giving us the It Can Talk achievement. Nice. We make ourselves a titanium helmet as well as pants, mine some more titanium, make ourselves the breasticles, meaning we finally completed our staggering Rolex-filled titanium set of swag. Now it's time to start grinding out some of that Ankh Charm goodness. Thankfully in this goddamn blessed day and age, we have the shimmer as a crutch in endeavors such as these. We start by making a counter curse mantra with what we have, then grind out some blindfolds in the corruption. Oops, goblins are invading, everyone stop what you're doing and tend to the goddamn green cum socks breaking every door you've ever placed. On the bright side, while peacefully throwing goblins into a wood chipper, we get ourselves a shadow flame knife. An early hard mode staple, as some would argue. After we finish that up, we shimmer a blindfold into a pocket mirror and make reflective shades. To make the grind for the Ankh-related components, as well as the grind for souls and various other bits of loot much easier, perhaps it's wise to automate the brutal anguish of any mob that comes our way. That's right, it's time to make a mob farm. We start with the outline, make a line going straight through the middle, then begin work on hollowing out the top of our farm. We build a pyramid in the middle as the true Peace Day Widowmaker of the farm, and while reverse derpixoning some mimics that dared show their goddamn face to us, we get a cross necklace. Still, we combine it with a star cloak to make a star veil, and while we're at it, make a charm of myths. While working on the farm once more, we manage to get an armor polish. So we make an armor bracing, then we grind out another bezoar and shimmer it into a bandage, making a medicated bandage shortly after. Alright, now hopefully we can actually get some work done on the double gulp fuck me to tears. We get a trifold map. We quickly shimmer it into a clock, make the plan, make an Ankh charm, and at long last, make ourselves the Ankh Shield. Not only getting Ankh accumulation complete, but also getting a crippling victims complex on account of how many crafting ingredients we had to sort through just now. Anyways, no time to worry about that, so we keep on being romantic with our farm, and soon enough, finish hollowing out its bottom. We make a quick AFK station beneath our coward pyramid, add lava to the top and bottom, set up dart traps on both sides, and voila, chef's kiss fucking beautiful. It's finished, and it'll certainly save us a whole lot of grinding grief in the future. Desperately yearning for more achievements at this time, we hit the right side of our beach and grind out a pirate map, just before quickly fashioning yet another coward pyramid and starting the event on up. There's nothing that violates the old sniffer more than the sweet stench of scabies, rancid sexually transmitted diseases, and staggering vitamin deficiencies slowly roasting right above your head. Anyways, now that that's over, we get ourselves the Walk the Plank achievement, along with a coward pyramid that's now overdue for a Dawn-sponsored power washing. We've waited long enough, it's time to take a one-way ticket to Boss Pound Town. We expand our arena to be hard mode ready, reforged for what feels like thousands of years of agonizing hell, making me want to throw the Goblin into a WaffleTime Inc. branded brazen bowl, and seeing as it's a windy day, we quickly grab a kite we got from hell and fly it, getting a rather blustery day. We run left to the hollow biome and summon up Queen Slime immediately after. We absolutely dart her with Shadow Flame Piss missiles, and while I'd love nothing more than to accept her offer of squishing us between those voluptuous, gelatinous thighs, I reluctantly, extremely regrettably must deny. We're here for the achievements, and achievements we must achieve. Upon getting her to the arena, we simply spam away with the Shadow Flame knives, which, mind you, work like goddamn peas in a pod with the Cursed Flame debuff we're inflicting. She takes flight and threatens us with ground pounds from the high heavens. My mind is telling me no, my body is telling me yes, and the debuffs we're inflicting are telling me that the fight is already fucking over. With no real trouble, we fold Queen Slime and get just desserts. To celebrate, I do more fishing quests that make me want to pull my teeth out, and manage to get the glorious golden pole achievement from getting the golden fishing rod. Who better, might I ask, to take out our anger on rather than Skeletron Prime? We summon him up, and I must say, the fight's rather simple. We grab Skeletron Prime by the back of his neck, wherever the goddamn thing is, and walk him several miles to the nearest laundromat, throwing him in a washer and putting him on the 2-hour Supreme Ultra Sud spin cycle. With this forbidden technique, the fight is simple. We keep him circling and soon enough take out his laser, which is incredibly cathartic. Then keep spinning him like a goddamn record. Soon enough, he's on the last leg of his health and he crumples into a rather large chainmail bag of manure. We open his bag and make that Excalibur goodness faster than you could say WaffleTime. We summon the twins up the next night, certainly a trickier fight than Skeletron Prime, but equally as satisfying when we get to bring extraordinary harm to Spasmatism, simply because I don't like the way he's looking at me. We fly up and down trying to strictly beat him to a pulp, and soon enough he enters his second phase, where he decides to turn into a living, breathing Protocol 3 violation. We keep dashing and running, hitting him with everything we have, and at long last he folds like a goddamn omelet. Now it's simply a patience test, and since we snapped the umbilical cord keeping those two together, we return fire on Retinazer. It's simply a matter of running and throwing every projectile we have at it, because we both know there's not enough eye drops in the world to get anything out of that big ass eye. As much as I'd love to leave Retinazer in a state of perpetual torment with something painfully stuck forever in each crevice of his eyeball, we put him out of his misery, summoning the Destroyer directly after. We dash to its tail, delivering holy Excalibur tier backshots in the process. We simply have to dodge head, which is not something I often do, but when the head in question does over 400 damage, it's a no-brainer. We get in gaps and keep swinging with all of our might, doing excellent damage with the Excalibur along the way. We're simply too stacked at this point for it to be too much of an ass clencher of a fight, so we simply keep swinging, keep dodging, keep getting in gaps, and bada bing, bada goddamn boom! That's yet another victory for WaffleTime Inc. We get buckets of bolts on account of resizing each mechanical boss, then immediately make the True Knight's Edge, which leaves me eternally bricked up. We kill Queen Slime one more time and shimmer one of the disease-ridden Party Girl bathwater containers to get the Diva Slime. And as much as it physically pains me to bring fermented Party Girl soup to life, it's mandatory we do it for the achievement later on. We head home and make a pickaxe axe with our mechanical spoils, getting Drax attacks for that, and after hitting the jungle and chopping our first bit of chlorophyte, we get photosynthesis as well. We mine up as much chlorophyte as we possibly can, and along the way, find and eat our first life fruit, giving us the Get a Life achievement. Once we head topside, we make full chlorophyte armor as well as the true Excalibur, now leaving me eternally bricked up on the goddamn double. To chip away at some of the more tedious achievements, we make an obsidian platform in hell in pursuit of the tax collector, and once we find him, we save him from the pits of agonizing hell so we can tax all of our NPCs. Think about it, that's more gambling money for us. After this, we simply collect life fruits by day and hunt for the mystic frog by night, and lo and behold, find the little bastard chilling in a cave entrance, purifying it to get the mystic slime shortly after. We grind out some souls of light, make a rainbow rod, and get Prismancer, then grind out many more life fruits until our health is maxed, giving us topped off, which is ironic because after doing some more fishing quests, we summon Plantera in hopes of getting topped off ourselves. The first phase goes fantastic. We use our True Knight's Edge to truly edge her all night, and our True Excalibur whenever we feel like it, and all goes smooth and well using the ultimate circle method. That is until we reach the second phase and realize, wow, fighting Plantera in an awkwardly shaped queen beehive might be one of the dumbest fucking things I've ever done in my entire life. We get beaten purple, and it should go without saying that when I accidentally hit a larva and summoned Queen Bee, I certainly thought it was lights out for a certified ass man. However, this was the ultimate blessing in disguise, because as we take out Queen Bee, we absorb her life essence, restoring our own in the process, giving us just enough juice to plow Plantera once and for all. We get the great southern plant kill for our victory. What a goddamn save! I take back a staggering amount of mean things I've said about Queen Bee in the past. We take a second to unclench after a battle like that. Then while AFKing for more souls, the princess arrives, giving us real estate agents for all the NPCs now living in our world. Want to hear something funny? We have only done 41 fishing quests at this point, which makes me want to file my teeth down with high grit sandpaper. But we have no time for that. We have progress to make, Planteras to drool over, NPCs to beat to death with rocks. We AFK in the mob farm for over an hour hoping to get a hollowed key to absolutely no avail. So we instead pile drive it on over to the dungeon to switch beats. We grind out a few mobs, and after grabbing a Bone Lee by the leg and slamming him into the walls as hard as we can, we not only get a Tabby, but we also get robbing the grave. It's at this point I decide we're overdue for a power-up, so we charge directly into Golem's frat house for the solar tablet, getting the Temple Raider achievement and getting the tablet we wanted in the process. Starting the Eclipse as soon as we're back at the crib, we take cover in our Coward Pyramid and wait for a Mothran, and wait for a Mothran, and wait for a Mothran, and wait. One shows up, and after a battle which resulted in yet another clench fest, we get ourselves an Eye of Cthulhu yo-yo, as well as an assault with a deadly weapon charge after I threw a beer bottle at the back of the Goblin Tinkerer's head at full force, simply because I was upset at not getting a broken hero sword. Thankfully, another Mothran shows up, and thankfully we get, absolutely fucking nothing from spanking her silly once more. On the bright side, we do get the Kill the Sun achievement for surviving the solar eclipse. Hip hip hooray, 3 cheers for WaffleTime Inc. To celebrate, we shimmer our armor and make turtle armor, AFKing again in the automatic mob Cheek Spreader 9000 for that hollowed key, and lo and behold, finally get the rat bastard. We hit the dungeon and crack open the hollowed chest, giving us the Big Booty achievement, which as a certified ass man of the ages means the entire world to me. We of course get the rainbow gun from the chest as well, which will be a great help in getting another achievement down the line. In order to grind for that beautiful goddamn Terrorblade once more, we hit Golem's temple again and grab even more solar tablets, starting a solar eclipse and waiting for even more Mothrans immediately after. The first Mothran shows up, demanding child support for all of those bug babies which may or may not look ever so slightly like us from an angle, like under the right light maybe, but WaffleTime Inc. refused. The first Mothran drops our beautiful broken hero sword we were after. We only blow a huge load twice, that's all we have time for, because after finishing out the event and not dying a single time, a blood moon begins. Now normally a solar eclipse directly into a blood moon is grounds for me to pick my therapist up over my head and throw as hard as I can through a wall. However, we need both a surly slime as well as a Dreadnautilus for some delectable achievement action, both of which come from fishing during a blood moon. We quickly make the Terrorblade, getting sort of the hero along the way, then get to fishing. We fish up totally original YouTube commenter Creatures of the Deep out of the blood ocean hell.
40 views in 19 seconds, WaffleTime fell off.
Yeah.
Cool video on another game, get back on Terraria. Cool, now try Calamity Death Mode, get fixed boy Fargo's Eternal.
Notice how my first inclination is to beat said creatures to death. Soon after dealing with those absolute heathens, we thankfully fish up the surly slime before the blood moon ends. But alas, not even a crumb of Dreadnautilusy. So we flip the record once more and take out our anger on unicorns until we get a blessed apple. We equip it, fire the rainbow gun, and get rainbows and unicorns. And soon after, while reforging, we get the great slime mitosis for all the town slimes things being present and accounted for. With our reforging dialed in, it's time to make Golem into a clay fleshlight. So we hit the temple, which is actually green to simulate the horrific stench coming from this frat house. We get to the absolute Geed's headquarters, make a quick arena, and summon him up. Ladies, gentlemen, and pro gamers all around, there's no other way to put it. We walk him like a goddamn dog. The first phase is simple leaps. The second phase is where we embark on the Loop-de Supreme strategy, withering him down faster than his mud brain can even comprehend. For the final phase, we put him through the Brain Scrambler, aka the Back and Forthinator 9000, and after many volleys of attacks, reduce him to a pile of bricks, giving us the Lizardian Idol achievement for beating him. We grind him out one more time, not only for beetle husks, but also because it feels good for us. We make full beetle armor, and wanting to grind out Zenith components before we take on the Moon Lord, we grind out Plantera not once, not twice, but 3 times total to get the Seedler, and wouldn't you know it, get absolutely nothing. God damn! To compensate for that physical shortcoming, we want to spread some alien cheeks and probe them for a change. So we start the Martian Invasion and sit around in our coward pyramid until the big dog shows up. We dance around it, sending flurries of attacks its way, and on our first kill we get a Xenostaff. On our second kill, however, that's when we get, you guessed it, a Xenostaff. Thankfully, we get the Influx Waiver upon killing the third one, as well as the Tinfoil Hatter achievement for finishing up the event. To celebrate that victory, we use a truffle worm we collected earlier on in the playthrough to summon Duke Fishron at the beach. That's right, the highly requested WaffleTime beach episode now in theaters near you. Anyways, the first phase is never really too bad, we simply run and swing. Go ahead and sprinkle in an occasional dash and suddenly you're in phase 2, where it's much more scary, much more ass clenching, much more ball shaking. The Sharknadoes make me feel fucking sick to my stomach. For the third phase, however, we simply partake in the Ultra Master Dasher Fish Booty Blaster Supreme technique. And soon enough, with many decently placed dashes, we take the bastard out once and for all, giving us fish out of water as well as the mount the doctor ordered. We'll be using this bad boy for the last handful of bosses, and it'll work to a goddamn T. That's just it though, ladies and gentlemen, I can't avoid her much longer. She'll stomp on my balls till they're flat like Wile E. Coyote after a piano falls on him. The Empress of Light needs to be defeated in this playthrough, so we sleep till night and hit the hollow, collecting a few prismatic lace wings along the way. We do more fishing quests while waiting until it rains and manage to get fast and fishious, simply for doing our 50th angler quest. Soon the rain begins, the meat twisting session is imminent, but before we get into battle, we fly over to the hollow and hunt down rainbow slimes. After finding one, we kill it and get Gelatin World Tour for defeating every type of slime there is. As soon as night falls, I throw a rock at a butterfly until the shoddy of light appears to blow my head smooth off my shoulders. Traditionally speaking, this is an absolutely petrifying fight, but considering we have the Fishron mount and it's raining, our maneuverability is quite excellent, making this fight much easier. We start blasting our way through the first phase, not doing too much damage, but dodging everything we can. And soon enough, our second phase starts, accelerating my heartbeat, erecting me even further than the first phase, and striking fear into my feeble gamer heart. We have to focus a lot more on dodging, but keep firing our Terrablade to the best of its capabilities. Damage is slow, but without a doubt, it's steady. Her health gets lower and lower, and soon enough, we're diving headfirst into a pile of her spoils, getting Fae Flayer in the process. Before going to pick on the dork-ass cultist, we buy a quad racer drone from the cyborg and fly it into space, getting to infinity and beyond. Now that that's done, we march our happy asses over to the dungeon and pull on the cultist's stupid nose. He starts casting spells, seething to the point of tears. We laugh at him, using our Terrablade to soak him in damage, dodging his elemental magic along the way. As a melee user, I simply hit a nasty fucking lat spread right in his face, and considering he can't even fathom what just happened, it kills him immediately, giving us obsessive devotion for defeating him. We start with the solar pillar, die, beat it. Move to the vortex pillar, die, 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 beat it. Hit the nebula pillar next, totally not dying or getting angry or threatening the safety of my future family at all in the process. Beat it, and lastly we move to the Stardust pillar, cheese the hell out of it and beat it as well. We get Star Destroyer for beating all the pillars, but there's certainly no time for laughing or playing games. The Moon Lord is coming. We slam our buffs fast and big legless spawns, so we immediately take off and fire as much as possible. When the Phantasmal Urethra Splitter 9000 comes our direction, we simply fly in a circle around the idiot, aka we hit the supreme spin cycle, many such cases. We keep blasting his right hand, planning on cheesing him to the moon and back as soon as we get that eye out. Soon enough, we pop it out and camp out in his eye socket. It's nice and warm in here. We keep up fire on the top eye, and wouldn't you know it, run face first into a living tree. Our life flashes before our goddamn eyes. We're on the brink of death. Family already celebrating and rummaging through my stuff, but upon hearing someone was gonna touch our 6-pack of cold ones in the back of the fridge, the cold ones we were saving specifically for after we beat the Moon Lord, our heart begins pumping steadily once more. more. Our family begins weeping again, and a smile spreads across my face. Despite nearly dying about 30 times, we're like the goddamn Bee Gees, so we keep up fire on each of his eyes, and pop that top eyeball out at long last. We keep slapping around that left eyeball, and eventually his heart's revealed. We light it up with all our might, but we're not doing enough damage. So we tell him that the Empress of Light could never ground pound his pelvis into oblivion because he doesn't even have one. And this crushes him on the inside, allowing us to do enough damage to finally get the kill. Beautiful cyan lights spray across our land, and we get 2 achievements for our troubles. Slayer of Worlds for beating all the bosses, and Champion of Terraria for fucking up the Moonlord specifically. We open up his bag and get 2 goddamn summoning items. God damn it. We may have beat the game, folks, but the nightmare is far from over. Our work is truly just beginning. We start by making all 3 mechanical boss summons and summon them up as soon as it's night. Simply flying and lighting all the bastards up with the Terrorblade is getting the job done. Thank God we're overpowered at this point, because I truly have no goddamn clue what I'm looking at. The Destroyer is the first to go, so we wear him like a very particular, very specific kind of sleeve in front of the other mechs to lower their guard. The Lunar Portal Staff, despite my earlier grievances, truly helps slap the remaining bastards around. The twins are next to fall, and shortly after, Skeletron Prime kicks the bucket as well, giving us Mecha Mayhem for killing all the mechs at once. After doing some more fishing quests that made me want to put paper cuts between the webs of my fingers, we managed to pull a hotline fishing hook as a reward. And after fishing in some lava, we get hot reels. While sleeping to wait for rain in order to fight Moonlord on our mount again, a blood moon appears, and brothers, sisters, and dryads who could jerk me till I blister, we need a Dreadnautilus more than we could breathe. We hightail it to the beach and get to fishing right away, finally pulling a Dreadnautilus and beating it to a goddamn pulp. It's quite easy at this point because we're ahead of the game, so we make short work of it, getting Don't Dread on me in the process. As soon as night falls, we summon up the Moonlord again and repeat the same process as before, absolutely ripping a hand to shreds, sitting nice and cozy in the socket of said hand, spilling some soda all inside of it so it's lightly sticky eternally, and taking out both of the other eyeballs as fast as possible. We gun for the heart last, and right into our humble laps fall yet another victory. We open up his bag and this time get the Terrarian, giving us the sick throw achievement and a crippling erection on account of the fact that we now have an absolutely killer melee weapon to carry us in our time of need. We summon his dumb ass up again and repeat the same exact process. However, this time the fight is about 3 times as fast because of our sick goddamn throw. We take out one hand, take out the other eyes, tonsil box his heart with our shiny new yo-yo, and voila, Dub City, we got nothing. We got neither of the swords we need for the Zenith. We summon him again, take out the hand eye, destroy the top eye, defile the other hand eye, tickle the heart, win. We get nothing. I'm out of pillar fragments to summon the Moonlord. Okay, here we go. We kill the cultist nerd-ass friends, gun his mother's cheeks, take out the nebula pillar, spank the stardust pillar, slap around the vortex pillar, cream the solar pillar, wait until the Moonlord shows up, take out a hand eye, take out both of the other eyes, mushroom stamp his heart repeatedly, and we get a star wrath. Thank the high heavens, because if I didn't get a component for the Zenith, I would not be held responsible for my actions. We summon him one more time, hopefully for the last time, engage in the same exact method we used before, slap the tip on the heart one last time just for safe measure, and as soon as we open that bag, relief washes over our withered bodies. At long last, we get ourselves a Meowmere. That whole ordeal, that entire experience has aged me by 40 years bare minimum. And seeing as I likely don't have much longer left, we have to get to work on grabbing the rest of the swords we need for the Zenith. In the meantime, we make ourselves a full set of solar armor, which is incredibly hot, then grind the remainder of our lives away for a Rod of Discord. Surprisingly, the farm we made earlier makes the grind not so horrendous, so we actually see one drop rather quickly. Once we snatch it up, it gets the shimmer treatment, giving us the Rod of Harmony. No achievement for that one, but it feels good, and by God does it help with searching for Plantera's succulent bulbs, which is precisely what we're going to be doing next. We need the Seedler, so we dive headfirst in the jungle's ass cheeks and take on Plantera not once, not twice, not 3 times, not 4 times, not 5 times, not 6 times, not 7 times, but on our 8th victory, we managed to get the Seedler. See, that wasn't so bad, was it? Next up, we need the Horseman's Blade, so we make the Pumpkin Moon Medallion, and as soon as night hits, we start it up. The event itself is an absolute breeze. We simply drop Trow and let the Terrarian guide us. As soon as pumpkins begin appearing, we toss them like it's no one's goddamn business. We get Baleful Harvest for reaching wave 15, but keep smashing the life out of pumpkins, not passing on a single one. After many more pumpkins and zero luck whatsoever, our Horseman Blade finally drops. So we snatch it up and flee to the underground to wait the event out. At long last, when the sun rises, so too does our morning wood on account of the Zenith being within our grasp at long last. We pull out every last sword we need from our storage, and finally, after what felt like years, we create the Zenith, giving us infinity +1 sword. Now that we have a lovely, beautiful Zenith in our hands, we buy the components to start the Old One's Army event from the Tavern Keep, build a long platform, slap it all down, and start the event. We rip it to goddamn shreds, clearing wave after wave with extraordinary ease, when finally Betsy shows up. Normally this fight could be pretty tough, but with the Zenith, it's nothing. We grab her by the mullet and swing her into the floor several hundred times until we see that delectable Hero of Etheria achievement fall directly into our pockets. Speaking of events, we make the naughty present next and start up the Frost Moon immediately. Considering our only goal right now is to get to wave 15, we wash every last bastard that appears in front of us, bosses included. Ice Queens appear trying to shake it goddamn silly to appeal to us, and while it absolutely, wholeheartedly, totally works, the Zenith works harder. We get to wave 15 in no time, getting Ice Scream for that, then simply wait the rest of the event out in our farm. However, we can't rest too long, since now that the spirit of Christmas is alive, we could get presents. And unfortunately for us, we need to crack open presents to get the summon for the Frost Legion. So we pull a pro gamer MLG move and summon pirates to grind for presents. Eventually we get the snow globe we desire, and after killing off the pirates, we start up the Frost Legion. Knives, guns, it doesn't matter, not one bit. The melee user simply mogs at this stage of the game, and none of these snowmen could handle even a drop of it. After beating the Frost Legion, we get Do You Want to Slay a Snowman? And for a quick achievement after that, we throw on some tiki armor, a papyrus scarab, a pygmy necklace, a necromantic scroll, and slap a bewitching table, then summon as many summons as this summoner can summon, which just so happens to be 9, exactly how many we need for the You and One Army achievement. At this point, the light at the end of the tunnel is in sight. We have 4 total achievements left to get, however, 2 of those achievements cause the light at the end of the tunnel to actually be coming from an atom splitting. We have to kill Dr. Bones, encounter a fairy, complete 200 fishing quests, and purify the world. Perhaps the end is in sight, but the agony tax to get there will be something I'll never, ever forget. We start by running around during a blood moon in the jungle after making an extra platform for Dr. Boner to spawn on. Eventually we find him and absolutely wipe him from the face of the earth, not only giving us the Archaeologist achievement, but also making us the new and improved Dr. Boner. Incredible. Now for fairies, there's a slim chance of one of those little bastards popping out of a shaken hollow tree during the night. So after making a hollow platform with plenty of trees, we shake them like a goddamn salt shaker, eventually shaking a fairy right out of its boots. Getting, hey listen, this is it. The last 2 most dreaded, most horrendous achievements. 200 total fishing quests in purifying the world. The fishing quests begin. Fishing quest after fishing quest after fishing quest, day after day, night after night. It does not stop. The fishing stops for nothing. Quest, sleep, quest again, solar eclipse after solar eclipse after solar eclipse after solar eclipse. It got to the point that I had to do something, anything, to break up fishing, or my brain would certainly begin working against me. We collect chlorophyte, ectoplasm, all the bars needed for the DCU, and craft it up. This machine will be incredibly handy in regard to world purification later on. We do more fishing quests, dig down to hell, fishing quests, dig down to hell, fishing quests are hell. The process repeats over and over and over again. Hate. Let me tell you how much I've come to hate fishing since I began to live. There are 387.44 million miles of printed circuits and wafer-thin layers that fill my complex. If the word hate was engraved on each nano-angstrom of those hundreds of millions of miles, it would not equal 1/1 billionth of the hate I feel for fishing at this micro instant. For the angler, hate. Hate! Until finally, we get Supreme Helper Minion. Will I soon? Matter of fact, will I ever recover from that experience as a man? Absolutely not. If there is a deep end, I've gone off of it, and I've taken the weight of 200 quest fishes with me. However, there's one last final achievement we need, and that's to purify the world entirely. Thankfully, with all the elevators we made between fuck-ass fishing quests, it's a simple matter of using our terraformer along with some biome site potions, then simply spraying our hot solution all inside of Mother Earth. We go up and down down each tunnel we've created, completely rinsing everything in sight. Once we've gone through each and every gap, nook, and cranny, we pay a visit to the Dryad to get the verdict. Perfect, even after blasting the entirety of the world, 1% hollow and 1% corruption is left. God damn it. After rinsing even more corners and doing some double checking, we find a tiny bit of sand that fell down into hell, which just so happened to be corrupted. Whew, that'll certainly do the trick. After even more searching, we find a goddamn crumb of pearlstone block hiding in a cave. We break it, and not seeing anything else near it, we check with the Dryad. And good riddance. We did it. We actually finally did it. Our world is pure. Fishing quests have been completed. Each boss has been slain. Blocks have been broken. Steps have been taken. It's all complete. Every last bit of it. Ladies and gentlemen, we've officially 100%ed Terraria. If there's one thing I learned, it's that maybe the Moon Lord, the mechanical bosses, hell, even the mobs of the solar eclipse aren't truly our enemies. It's actually that rat bastard angler. However, good people of WaffleTime Inc., with all 115 achievements completed and with us officially 100%ing Terraria, that just about does it for this video. This video took a very long time to make, so if you did enjoy it, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe for more content like this, as well as leave a comment down in the comment section below to let me know your thoughts on this video. For video and stream updates, make sure to follow my Instagram and Twitter, link down below, and to catch playthroughs like these live, be absolutely sure to follow my Twitch, link down below as well. Thank you all so much again for watching, and I'll be seeing all of you absolute creatures in the next one. WaffleTime 100% Master Beta Edition out.